Welcome to Think About It Reviews. We are talking Terminator Genisys spoilers. Now I can get down and dirty on this. Wow, fucking wow, wow. I am a Terminator fan, especially the first two films, and the third one wasn't as bad as it's pretty bad, but it has that corny just feel to it where you just can't take it seriously, but it's actually kind of, there's some parts that are kind of fun, especially that ending. I really like the ending after Terminator 3. Salvation, man, the fucking worst of the series, I think. I mean, it had so much potential to be great. That was the biggest, I was so hyped for that film when it came out. The trailer made it seem like it was going to be so badass. And when I went into that midnight showing, it was fucking the biggest disappointment in any film I've ever seen. Terminator Salvation. So Terminator Genisys, my expectations were low, even though Arnold Schwarzenegger was coming back. This was directed by Alan Taylor, the guy who did Dark World. And you know what? I adored the Dark World, and I don't like that movie. I hate that movie, honestly. I think that movie is just not good. I think there's a lot of things to rip apart about it. It's just weak. It's weak to me. Other than that, but Alan Taylor's Alan Taylor. He's getting work. He's doing Terminator Genisys. Like, okay, whatever. Emilia Clarke, Game of Thrones fame. Don't really know too much about her except the Game of Thrones and Dragons. I don't watch Game of Thrones. I thought she did a great job in here. In the beginning, she kind of stumbled a little bit, but she did a good job. She didn't do too bad. Sarah Connor, it was hard. It was really hard, guys, watching this film, especially, the timeline thing, especially when they were doing the same shit. They had the some of the footage from the original films, and then they put, especially the Terminator, the first Terminator that came in, 1984, to kill Sarah Connor, the first Terminator film. Of course, they CGI'd the face, so Arnold could go Terminator versus Terminator old Arnold versus the first Terminator that ever appeared in the film franchise. You see how fucking confusing it's so fucking confusing. But it was hard because that's not the Sarah Connor and Kyle Reese that I grew up with Terminator. They don't even really look like the actors that portrayed them. Linda Hamilton, I believe it was Michael Biehn. Biehn was badass, dude. He's actually a great actor. He was in Aliens. He was in Tombstone. He's a good actor. I really enjoyed that guy as Kyle Reese. And they brought him in for that deleted scene for the Terminator 2 Judgment Day, which you guys should check out that deleted scene. I'll probably like it, and you guys can check it out on my channel. So Jay Courtney didn't do too bad, which was kind of crazy. Jay Courtney is shitty. I think he's just he shits on he's not great. He's not that good of an actor. However, he actually didn't do too bad in this film. The chemistry between him and Emily was not. It was kind of there. I could sense it. It wasn't horrible. It was not the greatest thing ever, but it was there. There was a little chemistry there. Especially a little bit of chemistry with Arnold too. A little bit of chemistry with Arnold. Arnold Schwarzenegger is just old at this point. He's really old. He really has to pick in his kind of decisions when making films. I don't think Terminator, doing his 80s type films, sequels, this and that. Maybe Conan could work for him, maybe, but he's done as an action star. I just don't see it anymore. That doesn't necessarily mean he was bad in this film. He wasn't too bad. I mean, he had some good one-liners, some of them. He just didn't have that, I guess, that physical, that presence like he did in T1 and T2 or back in the day, and especially that spark. Like I said in my last video, he doesn't have that spark there anymore. So as his career is kind of dwindling down, he has to pick and choose what he wants to do. And I think independent is a good look for him. If you have seen Maggie, he actually was pretty good in Maggie. I think he really did bring something to the table. But let's talk about this movie. This movie is confusing as fuck. This movie is just. I was watching this, and of course they, it was great in the beginning when you had the war. You had John, and you had Kyle. You had Matt Reeves in the background. I knew he was in here. Is it Matt Reeves? It's the guy from Doctor Who. I forgot his name. The guy from Doctor Who. He was someone in the background a little bit. You see John. You see them. The the freedom fighters, whatever, destroy Skynet. You know, they fucking won the war, but Skynet was able to take have that Terminator go into that certain timeline to kill Sarah Connor, which was the first film, and then it's pretty much doing the same thing. John's like, okay, Kyle, you're gonna go save my mother. Well, he doesn't say my mother. He says, go save Sarah. But before Kyle is transported to, was it 1984? I think in 1984, fucking Doctor Who guy grabs John Connor, and because Doctor Who guy is pretty much a fucking Terminator, and that's the last thing John sees. Then he sees a little flashbacks here and there of pretty much the future, or like the parallel timeline where he was a kid. Things fell apart when he was a kid. Like when he was born in Judgment Day, but this was a different kind of timeline. He sees Sarah Connor. When he showed the picture of Sarah Connor, I was like, oh my god, that looks so bad. They try to recreate the scene where she's in a Jeep and shit, and I was like, oh, that looks so bad. Oh, it looks bad. Oh, I miss you, Linda Hamilton. I miss Linda Hamilton, even though Amelia looks was pretty good in here. But yeah, the T-1000 was not needed. He came in, you fucking try to kill John a lot of times in this film. Either the T-1000 or John Connor himself could have killed Kyle and Sarah Connor like nothing. They just fucking talk. The T-1000 didn't talk, but he would give these stupid, you shot me. You shot me. You shot me. And fucking Jason Clarke's like, my mother, join me, this and that, join me, fuck, just, you're a Terminator. You're a Terminator. Kill him. I was saying, kill him. You're a fucking Terminator. Even the fucking, the Terminator that came to the first Terminator that the old Arnold beats up and, Sarah Connor blasts, when he gets rejuvenated by fucking John Connor, or no, not John, the T-1000, this is what I'm talking about. That thing was not stopping. He was trying to kill John. So that's how the fucking Jason Clarke's John Connor kill Kyle. My bad. He was trying to kill Kyle. That's what John should have done for Sarah and Kyle. What the fuck? I will say I did like the whole acid thing. They were prepared for the T-1000, but it's like the T-1000 didn't come until 1997. So why was it 1997, or it might have been a little bit earlier? It just doesn't make fucking sense. It doesn't make sense, especially when they were warped to the current era, that one 1984, I believe, to. I'm probably wrong about 1984, but I'm gonna say 1984 to 2017. I thought these things only could take one, but now they could take fucking three if they wanted to. I think I missed the whole conversation there because I was like, what the fuck is going on with this movie? But I did like how the relationship with Arnold Schwarzenegger and Sarah Connor was actually pretty good. I like that. I like how she that's her pops. And it was hinted in T2. I don't think, maybe not hinted, but I got the feeling that, that Terminator was actually having a little bit of feelings towards John Connor. When he's like, I don't know, now I know why you cry. I think they really took, that was a feeling from T2, and I think they took that kind of aspect in this one. And I think they did a good job, fairly good job on that. John Connor as the bad guy was kind of fucking stupid. I didn't like it. It made it more fucking confusing, especially going towards the end. Of course, John's gonna be born. I think Sarah Connor and Kyle are still gonna do the deed, but John being a Terminator was it was okay. It was really okay, honestly. I didn't really enjoy it, but. I don't know what to say about that, honestly. It's just maybe I'm neutral about it. I'm kind of neutral about it because it did, bring in a lot of conflict. It brought in a lot of deception. Jason Clarke did a great job, what he was given. So, I guess. But I want to make time for a fucking rant on the ending. But let's talk about also J.K. Simmons was great. I liked how he was the cop in 1984. Then he helped some escape in 2017. Dyson made an appearance, but I hated the whole, Genisys little thing operation where everybody wanted Genisys and everything. It was fucking. I didn't like it. I thought people would not feel comfortable in doing all that shit. I think that's all I can really talk about this moment. The whole timeline and how it all fucked up and everything. Do you know what? I don't think they ever told us who sent Arnold. I don't think they did ever tell us who sent Arnold, did they? I don't think so. Yeah, Arnold when Sarah Connor was a little girl. Now that I'm thinking about it, I don't think they ever did. But let's get to the ending real quick because I only have a couple more minutes. I could talk about this movie all day, but there's things that just it just doesn't fucking add up, and then the action sequences were kind of not boring, but you've seen it before and you kind of weren't really invested in it. Arnold Schwarzenegger as a Terminator, he's not as menacing or built as he used to be to have that stature over everybody. The ending was probably such a fucking stupid ending. If this is the last movie and this is how they ended it, why? Just reboot the shit, man. They really took the ending from T2, from the deleted scene where Sarah Connor, she makes her own path, honestly. She has her own freedom to choose how she wants to live her life. Now that they killed John Connor, or the Terminator, they blow up Skynet somehow. They don't have a fucking trigger, so was it because Arnold went with John Connor and that thing and it blew up everything? Arnold coming back resurrected. I thought they should have just taken him out, killed him off, but do it in a good way. The CGI was really, really getting, you could really tell the CGI, especially towards the end. That ending though, like where she goes to little Kyle Reese and it connects where Kyle pretty much tells himself, the little Kyle, the message that he received, with all his little memories that he had. I mean, all Sarah, Kyle, the Terminator go off to the sunset. Who knows what the future lies ahead? It's just a stupid. It's not. I don't want to say it's a pathetic ending, but it has nothing. It has no weight to it. It's not, because this film is not as good as the first two, of course. It's never going to be good as the first two. It's above 3 in Salvation, I think, but it's still not good. Like, it still doesn't, like, for a fan of the Terminator series, if this is how they end it, it's, like, frustrating, man. It's like, fuck. I wanted it ended, like, if they're going to do this shit, if they're going to make all these movies, fucking just give me the first 2 Terminators and I'm done. Why? Money, that's why. But this movie is only made like, what, 8 million domestically? I mean, internationally? Or a certain part. I'm kind of frustrated on this. I mean, I wanted it to be good, but it wasn't very good. It wasn't awful like I thought it was going to be, but it's still not the ending. So, honestly, if you're a big Terminator fan, just 1 and 2. 1 and 2, and that's it. Everything else is just fucking non-canon. It's somewhere. It's in a parallel dimension. Who gives a rat's ass about that? If they were going to go this way, I honestly would have rather had them reboot it or something. So, it is what it is. So, thank you guys for listening. I don't have much time. I could have talked hours about this. Please subscribe if you haven't already. Please like and let me know you guys' thoughts if you've seen this film. Spoiler talk on the comments below. So if you like the movie, then that's good for you. Let me know why you like it. Do you like it, or if you hate the movie, let me know too. So just a little frustrated on the ending of the film. So thank you guys for listening. Dan the Man's out.